What's up, YouTube? It's good to be back. Took a little hiatus, missed a week, then had a week off. But yeah, that week I missed, which was Fazeev against Gamrot. That week it was just my mom's birthday weekend, and we took a little family trip, and yeah, it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. But I'm back. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the show. KO Bets. My name is Bill. This is where we go live. We go live on YouTube every Friday night at about 7:30. You know, I got a lot going on, so I was kind of rushing to finish up my notes. But we go live typically every Friday prior to UFC events. We discuss the upcoming UFC card. I give my picks and predictions for every fight. And we hang out for about an hour. We'll get into Twitter, trending topics, try and stay out of trouble there. But yeah, welcome to the show. Before we get started, if you wouldn't mind, please like the stream, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support tremendously. And without further ado, let's get into it. We're not going to do any sort of recap because, you know, honestly, we're just a little too far removed from it at this point, you know? Dang, what's going on with my mouse? Huh. I'm kind of confused what's going on. Okay. Uh-oh. Do I just have too much shit open? Okay. Yeah, that might be the case. Alright, I think we're good now. Okay. Here we go. So, for this week, we've got UFC Dawson versus Green. Having some technical difficulties. Montana De La Rosa's taking on JJ Aldrich. Montana De La Rosa's on a 2-fight losing streak. She's 5-4-1 in the UFC. Notable wins: Ariana Lipski. Notable losses: Tatiana Suarez, Macy Barber, Vivian Araujo, Mackenzie Dern. JJ Aldrich, she's coming into this fight on a 1-fight win streak. She's 7-5 in the UFC. Notable wins: Jillian Robertson, Vanessa Demopoulos. Notable losses: Ariana Lipski, Erin Blanchfield, Macy Barber. We've got a striker versus grappler matchup here. I think Montana De La Rosa is going to be the better striker out of the two fighters. I think in order to win, JJ Aldrich is going to have to grapple. I think it's going to play out to be a very, very close fight on the feet. I think where the advantage might come in is maybe JJ Aldrich is able to come into this fight and I don't know, maybe she's able to come into this fight and just be the better grappler. I mean, you could definitely take down Montana De La Rosa. Maybe JJ Aldrich is able to do that. I don't know. It's a tough fight to pick, in my opinion. I mean, they're both losing to really, really good fighters, so I think this is a good matchup for the two. I think it's going to be a close fight. I'm going to lean with the underdog money. So I'm going to go with JJ Aldrich at plus 124 here. I think De La Rosa, if she's able to keep the standing, she should win a close fight. I do like this fight to go the distance. Odds makers agree, and they like the De La Rosa decision or the JJ Aldrich decision. I guess I'll go with JJ Aldrich decision at plus 150, but probably a no bet spot. Nate Maness taking on Mateus Mendoza. Yeah, this is where SureDog was a little bit mixed up from the official fight card lineup. All right, so Nathan Maness is on a 2-fight losing streak. Mateus is on a 1-fight losing streak. Nate Maness 3-2 in the UFC. Notable wins: Tony Gravely lost back-to-back fights to Tagir Ulanbekov and Umar Nurmagomedov. Mateus is 0-1 in the UFC. He had a tough debut against Javid Basharat. Went 3 rounds the distance with him, and didn't look bad. Mateus trains with Charles Oliveira. I think he's probably just the more technical fighter, better fighter in this, but Nathan Maness is opportunistic. He sometimes figures out how to get it done. So they both on paper have awful strike differentials, but I have to go with the favorite in Mateus Mendoza just because I don't really trust Nate Maness, especially after seeing his last 2 fights. He can get hit, hurt, recently. I believe Tagir submitted him. So I'm going to go with Mateus to win. And I'm going to say we're going to check out the odds for the submission. Mateus is the favorite at minus 238. Odds makers do not like this to go the distance. I kind of agree. They like Mateus via KO. Maybe the submission is interesting at plus 700 there. I don't hate it. But I'm going to go with Mateus on the money line. Vanessa Demopoulos taking on Kanako Murata. Vanessa Demopoulos is on a 1-fight losing streak. She's 3-2 in the UFC. Vanessa her notable wins are Silvana Gomez Juarez, Jinyu Frey. Notable losses: JJ Aldrich, Carolina Kowalski. I can't pronounce her name. Kowalkiewicz. Lupita Godinez. Kanako, 12-2 professionally, 1-1 in the UFC on a 1-fight losing streak. Yeah, I think this is a tough fight for Vanessa Demopoulos, who probably has to win by submission in order to win this fight, and she's going up against a good grappler. Kanako's loss was an armbar loss to Virna Jandiroba, but she's a really, really good grappler and just needs to stay safe in this fight, and she'll win, in my opinion. So I think Kanako wins this. I don't think she's minus 355. I don't think she just goes out there and gets a round 1 submission, but maybe over round 1. We could get some, probably not. Minus 285. Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. So I don't think she's going to submit her in round one, but I'm thinking maybe she could get the submission in round two in this fight. Odds makers do like this to go the distance. So I guess they like the Kanako to win decision minus 165. Yeah, I think she should win this pretty easily. I don't love the odds. Maybe you could consider that for like the money line for a round robin situation, parlay situation. But for a straight up bet, it's tough for me to go with Kanako. I mean, just like the other fight before this, Mateus, I think there might be some value on that submission at plus 550, especially if it's going to play out on the ground. So I'm going to go with Kanako there. The next fight is Aori Kinglen taking on Johnny Munoz. Both of these fighters are coming off of losses. Let's see, where you at? Man, my allergies are worked up tonight. I took a little allergy pill. Ooh, we had some sushi. I should have ate some wasabi to clear the nostrils. Drinking some apple juice. Ooh, I forgot about that. The first sip. Just some bullet bourbon with a big square ice cube. I like it to dilute a little bit. Oh man. Yeah, so Welch's apple juice. Kinglen, Aori, 1 fight losing streak. Munoz, 1 fight losing streak. Both have a 2-3 record in the UFC. Notable losses. We don't really have any notable wins for either one of these fighters. Losses: Jeff Molina, Cody Durnan, Zahabi for Aori. Nathan Menes, Daniel Santos, Tony Gravely. And then he does have a loss also to Nathan Menes, which I don't really like. Was that his last fight? Because that was really bad. No, I don't think it was his last fight. No, Santos was his last fight, and that was bad. Yeah. Just gave up against Daniel Santos. Aori got KO'd in round 1. I think in this fight, Johnny Munoz is going to want to grapple. I think Aori is going to be the better striker. I think if he can avoid takedowns. If you're looking at the takedown accuracy of Munoz, he's just not really getting those takedowns thus far in the UFC. And Aori, he can get up. He has lost a couple of fights where he's getting taken down a bunch, but he can get up, and he does have pretty decent takedown defense. And so I think he's able to fend off Johnny Munoz's any sort of grappling attempt. Might enter the guard, but I think he's going to be the minute winner for this fight. I don't know if he gets the knockout. I'm kind of leaning towards decision, but I got to go with Aori. Dang, he's barely the dog. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. They like the Munoz submission, and I guess I like the Aori knockout at plus 250. Maybe decision. What is knockout or decision? Minus 105. Man, not enough juice. Probably you'll just maybe look at the money line on this one. Yeah, I think that's a safer strategy. Carolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Diana Belbita. Or Diana Belbita. Carolina is on a 3-fight win streak. She is 8-7 in the UFC. Has some crazy wins out there. Has a win over Rose Namajunas, Silvana Gomez Juarez, Felice Herrig twice. And then the losses are just, it's kind of crazy. Jessica Penne, Jan, Alexa Grasso, Michelle Watterson, Jessica Andrade, Gedalia, Joanna. So just really, really impressive resume. She's taking on Diana Belbita, who's on a 1-fight win streak, 2-3 in the UFC. And just for the most part, like, she's a good volume striker, but for the most part, she has just not fought really good competition at all. And she's got a losing record in the UFC. So I think this is honestly kind of, I really like Carolina in this fight. I think she wins this fight fairly easily, especially if she's getting takedowns. If it's all stand-up, yeah, it could be a close fight, but give me Carolina in this fight to win. I don't know what Diana Belbita's losses look like. Let me look those up. 4 submission losses. So, I mean, Carolina via decision. I like the money line and maybe sprinkling that submission prop the best. The next fight we've got is Philip Lins taking on Ion Cutelaba. Philip Lins is 3-2 in the UFC. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Ion Cutelaba's on a 1-fight win streak, 6-8-1 in the promotion. Notable wins for Philip Lins: Maxim Grishin, Ovan St. Peru, Marcin Prachnio, but, you know, Ovan definitely isn't looking great. Lost his first 2 fights, Tanner Bozer, Andrei Arlovski. Cutelaba, he's been around for a long time. What do we say? 15 fights in the UFC. Notable wins: Tanner Bozer, Devin Clark, Khalil Roundtree. Losses to Jared Cannonier, Teixeira, Magomed Ankalaev twice, Ryan Spann, Johnny Walker, Kennedy Njoku. Yeah, I mean, round one fights, Ion is great. You know, he's violent. He's powerful with the wrestling. He's just trying to knock people's heads off, and he's just a maniac. But the cardio has always been an issue. He is round 1 and gassed every single fight. I think Philip Lins, I think I like him in this fight simply because I trust him to be the minute winner, to have cardio after round 1, and to just really put it on Ion and potentially have a chance to finish Ion later in this fight. But, I mean, Ion is super duper dangerous. Super duper dangerous. Gosh, why did I say that? He's extremely dangerous in the first round. So Philip Lins is he's gonna have to survive. Maybe a good live bet opportunity. Maybe sprinkle round 1 Ion. Like, you take that $10 you were gonna bet on Ion round 1 or Philip Lins. You do Ionish. Let's look at this. So you take that $10, right? Let's see. Round props. Cutelaba round 1 plus 150. And then fight lines. Oh, Philip Lins is the underdog, but he might be an even bigger underdog. And you could, like, So you do like your, $5 on Kudalaba round one, returns really good. 1 unit, 1.5 return. You know what I mean. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Are you supposed to say the total return or just like what you win, right? I don't know. You get $2. You bet a unit, you get 2.5 units back, right? The unit you put in and another 1.5. Philip Linz, yeah, I would expect like if he has the kind of first round, and you might even want to consider like betting it, before the round's even over. Maybe you see him take a deep breath and there's like 2 minutes left in the round. Maybe that's when you look at Philip Linz and maybe he's like a plus 200 at that point, and you're just hedging that Kudalaba bet, and you could potentially win more on the Philip Linz side. I'm just saying that might be how I play it, to be honest. You kind of get to see 3 minutes of Eon to see if he can knock out Philip Linz, but I really like Philip Linz in that fight. I think Eon's just round one or bust, and he's going to lose. Next fight we've got is, we're on to the main card. Alex Hernandez taking on Bill Algeo. Alex Hernandez is on a 1-fight win streak. He's 6-5 in the UFC. Bill Algeo's on a 1-fight win streak, 4-3 in the UFC. Oban, Mercier, and then he's lost a lot of fights. I'm not going to say he's as bad as Kudalaba in the gas tank department, but he just doesn't, in my opinion, he's not really dangerous outside of round one. He just kind of turns into a wrestler after that, and I just think his gas tank is really bad. I think he doesn't have great IQ in round one, but I think he's just crazy talented and kind of sprints and then is just gassed. We see him get clipped. He kind of bails out and loses quickly after. We see him get tired and hands are low and he's just getting picked apart. And he's facing Bill Algeo, who I think has a really good gas tank. I think, I don't think it's as simple as survive round one and win, but just push a pace with Alex Hernandez. Stay safe. Don't get clipped. Just push a pace. Hurt him. That's the other. You see Alex Hernandez get hurt a lot in round one, or just react in round one to the strikes of his opponents. I just don't know if I don't think he's that durable. So I'm gonna go with Bill Algeo here. Bill Algeo is the slight favorite. Oh no, he's the underdog at minus 102. I don't think the fight goes the distance. I think if Alex Hernandez wins, it's got to be that round one finish, in my opinion. It's at plus 400. And then I like Bill Algeo to just put it on him towards the end. Take the second round, the third round, just display a better gas tank, but he does have to make Alex go in round one. You can't just stand around round one, and but I like Bill Algeo in that. I like the we've seen him KO'd 3 times, submitted once. That was Renato Moicano. Man, I'm not sure. I I like the finish for Bill Algeo. I like the finish. Just a tired Alexander Hernandez outside of round 1. Bill Algeo gets the finish. The next fight we've got is Drew Dober taking on Ricky Glenn. Drew Dober is on a 1-fight losing streak. He's 12-8 in the UFC. Drew Dober's been around for a long time. He's fought a lot of really good fighters from Islam. Islam's probably the biggest name on this list. But guys he's beaten: Bobby Green, Rafael Alves, Terrence McKinney, Alex Hernandez, Nasrat Hakparast. And then he's lost to some really good fighters, but he's always fighting really good fighters. Really has been durable as of late, able to recover well, and just really powerful. He's taking on Ricky Glenn, and he's just hasn't looked good as of late. That's going to be why he's such a big underdog, and it's going to be tough to see where he can beat Drew. I think he is, he's definitely dangerous. He's got power. But Drew Dober's fought a lot of fighters with power. Matt Frivola did get him his last fight, but I think this is different. I think Drew Dober's just going to be faster, better than Ricky Glenn. Drew Dober seems like a guy that could still ascend and get better, and I'm just not seeing that from Ricky Glenn. So we're going to go with Drew Dober here. He is the big favorite, minus 395. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance, and I have to agree. I like the Drew Dober KO. I don't think I can hang minus 175 on it. I mean, Ricky Glenn got knocked out his last fight, right? Prior to that, his last... How many knockout losses does he have? He only has one. So he got knocked out. I mean, it kind of seems like they're just setting up Drew Dober to have a highlight, right? So you're just going to get that knockout? Like, is it crazy to just do plus 165 for the round? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Yeah, I'll have to think about money line as a parlay piece. But I mean, it's still a steep price, minus 395. But yeah, give me Drew Dober. I'm going to say it's a knockout, probably early. Alex Morono is taking on Joaquin Buckley. Man, I really like Joaquin Buckley in this fight. I think Moreno... Well, let's talk about their streaks. Morono's on a 1-fight win streak. He's 12-5-1 in the UFC. 12-5, 1 no contest. He's been around for a long time. Has a fight against Anthony Pettis in the UFC. So he's been around for a really long time. Good striker, really good striker. But I think he's a bit older. He might be 40 now. No, only 33. Damn, that was a bad diss by me. But man, I just feel like Joaquin Buckley's gonna knock him up and knock him out, piece him up on the feet, and ultimately just hurt him with the power. Alex Morono, awful grappling as well. So I think Buckley's going to be... He could be the minute winner and grapple if that's what he chooses. I think he's going to go out there and just try and knock him out. But Yeah, I don't like Alex Morono here in this spot against Joaquin Buckley. Morono has 3 knockout losses. Santiago Ponzinibbio got him. Also fought Pettis. Oh, I already said that, right? That's Morono. Okay. Jeez, the apple juice. 3 knockout losses. Where's Kalen Williams? Man, Buckley carries big power. I think if you're going to just stand there and trade with him, he's going to knock you out. So I'm going to go with Buckley knockout. Minus 180 Buckley is on the money line. Yeah, I mean, if you think Buckley's getting tired and he's just not finding Alex Morono, maybe you could live bet Morono. Odds makers think this will not go the distance. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I like the Buckley knockout. I mean, it's interesting. Round 1 for this one's plus 225, and for Drew Dober it was minus 105 or something like that. So I feel like Joaquin should just try and stand in a pocket with Morono early and just trade with him. Buckley doesn't have the most tremendous gas tank, so I mean there's an opportunity there for Morono if the fight gets extended. But also, like, Morono's just, he's not good in the grappling department, so I think Joaquin could potentially do what he did against Abdul and just go for takedown after takedown after takedown if he gets tired. Next fight, we've got Joe Pyfer taking on Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Abdul, you got to check out his, his pre-fight media interview, and he does not like Joaquin Buckley for that fight. He's ticked. I'm pretty sure that's, if he wins, that's who he's gonna call out. I mean, he's ticked off, but I think this spot right here is set up to show off Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer is 2-0 in the UFC, 2-fight win streak. Abdul is on a 1-fight win streak. He's 6-5 in the UFC. I think at the end of the day, Joe Pyfer in this fight is just way more well-rounded than Abdul. I think he knows that, like, grappling-wise, Abdul is just, he's not good. Joe Pyfer could take him down, wrestle him for 15 minutes, win that way. I think he's also a really good stand-up fighter. Abdul, like, what he has is just incredible power. Like, he finds Joe Pyfer's chin. He could potentially knock Joe Pyfer out. So, I think this is an interesting fight. I think Joe Pyfer's probably going to be a super heavy favorite. But I think if Pyfer doesn't go out there with a sound game plan and he kind of does what he does, or what he has done thus far in the UFC, he's just, like, there's openings to hit him. I mean, he'll drop his hands a lot. It'll just be interesting. It'll be a really interesting fight if it's on the feet. I think someone's going to get knocked out if it's on the feet, obviously. But I think the easiest path to victory for Pyfer, who I'm betting on minus 360, is just to get takedowns. Odds makers don't think this is going to go the distance at minus 650. I mean, yeah, makes a lot of sense. Pfeiffer KO minus 175. Pfeiffer KO round 1 minus 125. Man, I'd rather sprinkle a little on Abdul. Holy shit, Pfeiffer. I mean, I like him, but does that seem... That seems a little... I mean, what is Abdul? Let's check it out. I mean, Pfeiffer's been... He got the knockout on Contender Series. Round 1, round 2, round 1. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of round 1 potential. Same with Abdul. When he's losing, looks like a lot of decisions. Like Kalen Williams knocked him out. Man. Yeah, I'm going to go with Joe Pfeiffer. I just think he's the more well-rounded fighter. Man, I feel like maybe not fight to go the distance, but like you could get over, what did we see? Over 1.5 here for plus 165. Is that, I mean, is that like crazy to entertain after like what Joaquin did to Abdul when they fought? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Joe Pfeiffer though. Probably more as a round robin parlay piece on the money line, and that'll be my pick. I'll probably do something else, maybe a same game parlay there too, but yeah, I don't know. I think the over under 1.5 is interesting for sure. Grant Dawson, Bobby Green, main event. Grant Dawson is 8-0-1 in the UFC. One draw, right? 3 wins in a row. Bobby Green's on a 1-fight win streak. 11-9-1 and 1 no contest in the UFC. I mean, Grant Dawson, I think he should win this fight. I think he should win this fight pretty convincingly. I think he should just go in there and grapple, get a submission. I think he's a really, really good grappler. When he's grappling, able to do that offensively. Bobby Green, low hands, great boxing, really fun to watch on the feet, but like don't even engage in that if you're Grant Dawson. Just get the takedown, get the submission, be efficient. I think that's the recipe to win. So I'm going to go with Grant Dawson here. I think he wins this fight. I think he gets it done probably via submission. Grant Dawson, heavy favorite, minus 455. Odds makers think this does not go the distance. The submission is at plus 110. Maybe under 2.5. Submission. Man, what? Only plus 180? Damn. Grant Dawson, submission. Do we go with intuition? Yeah, it was round 3. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I like Grant Dawson to win in this fight. I like him to win via submission at plus 120. Probably gonna use, man, minus 455. There's some heavy favorites, right? If Bobby Green were to win, how would he win? I would say that Bobby Green probably wins via knockout. Yeah. Plus 550. He clips Dawson. And then he just keeps punching him and knocks him out. And that's how Bobby Green would win. So, but I think Grant Dawson wins that one. Let's see. Check out Twitter. SmackDown. Man, do you think they... Like, do you think they pay? Like, I think you can probably pay, right? And get your tweets promoted or something like that. I mean, it's really smart. It's just kind of obnoxious every Friday night to see that. OP Live also. It's Howard. The Bears played great last night. It was kind of crazy. Justin Fields, DJ Moore, electric. Man, yeah, I don't really see anything of interest. What's going on with Walmart? Portion sizes are higher in America. What the fuck? Pardon my language. So, Ozempic is a weight loss drug, and people are taking it, and grocery stores say they're seeing an impact on shopping demand. So I don't think that's man, that sounds like some BS, right? That doesn't make any sense. Like, stuff's expensive, right? I mean, no one can... What are we looking up? Oh. Huh? What are we talking? Oh, we gotta get today. Is this Walmart? Oh, that's European food and drink stocks. Okay, so it's not Walmart, but Walmart's saying it's seeing an impact from the drug Ozempic. It could be like LP issues. It could be I mean, stuff's expensive, right? Like everything's going up in cost, and you know, if wages aren't growing congruent to that, like people feel the effect. So inflation is high, and man, I think there's other stuff to blame than that. But if like that's a true trend, that's kind of insane, right? Because I always, in the scope of the world, I always feel like I like America is perceived as being like the, you know, big people, bigger set people, bigger portions, and you've got Europe food trends blaming, or maybe it's just like this lady just posted a random chart that has nothing to do with anything that's being said in this statement, and it kind of doesn't. So we gotta move on from this.
Oh my God! Oh, don't act brand new. I'm acting brand new, really.
Huh. Popular drugs used to suppress appetite, such as Ozempic and Wegovy, might be causing an economic impact at some large retailers who say that people are buying less food at the grocery store, impacting their bottom line. Do you think it might be competition too? Like there's all those like Purple Carrot, Hello Fresh, Blue Apron, all these different services like that. Those could be taking up some of the market. Could be for sure. And I'm not saying anything, but it could be LP issues. You're just seeing a lot of grocery stores just lock stuff up because you can't stop it. There's shortages of employees everywhere. I don't know if we need more people or we need yeah, I think we need more, maybe a little more people. Man, this lady's everywhere. Alright. I think that's going to conclude tonight's show. I appreciate you tuning in. Please like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support. My name is Bill. This is KO Bets. I hope everyone has a terrific night.